In 2020, my relatively small indie rock band called PsySo made it into a whopping 14 Spotify editorial playlists. Do you want to increase your odds in getting Spotify editorial placements in 2021? Then you should definitely watch this video. Hey independent musicians, my name is Joost Boogmans and I must be the indie guy. Probably you clicked this video because you want to know how to get your music into a Spotify editorial playlist. And I can tell you, you are definitely on the right address. As being an independent musician myself, I know that the support of a brand like Spotify can mean a lot. It adds a layer of authority to your brand and the industry is more likely to back you. Unfortunately, getting editorial placement can be quite hard to obtain, but it's definitely possible. Make sure to watch this video entirely to make sure that you'll greatly increase your odds of getting a Spotify editorial placements in 2021. Let's go! First and foremost, music is key. Your music needs to be good. I can't emphasize enough how important this is. When Spotify places you in one of their playlists, they're basically showcasing their brand with your name next to it. It's their goal to keep their consumers as long as possible on the platform. So if your music is not good, consumers will probably turn off the playlist and never turn back. And Spotify, they won't let this happen, so make sure your music is good. But now, how do you know your music is actually good? Since this is a very subjective question, it's probably the best to ask professionals in your genre for their honest opinion. Try to avoid people who always tell you it's good, because this is not helping you. Try to search for options on websites like Reddit and Facebook groups. There are people who will probably give you some honest feedback. Maybe it's not much, but you can get some. Also, you can get your music reviewed by a larger cult audience. Something like that is called crowd reviewing. For a small amount of money, 100 or more unbiased music lovers will give their honest opinion about your music. This is probably the best option, since you'll get a very detailed report on many important metrics related to the quality of your music. Now let's get that out of the way. Your music is good, but unfortunately 99% of the time this is not enough. A quite important next step is being unique and authentic. If your music is good but it lacks authenticity, your odds are still quite small. But how to make your music more authentic? It can be done in many ways. As a rule of thumb, try to find out what aspect in your music is it making typically you. This can be a certain topic of lyrics, a certain sound, an amazing voice, crazy guitar solos, a quite typical nostalgic feel, insanely catchy choruses, quirky noises. I can go on and on with examples, but eventually you have to find it out for yourself. You may not find it instantly, but eventually you'll get closer and closer to your identity. Now let's say your music is good and authentic. The next big thing to increase your odds in getting editorial placements is the online presence of your brand. Spotify tends to reward acts that are gaining momentum outside of just their platform. Something that you can do is trying to get a bigger audience on platforms like Instagram, TikTok or YouTube. In this way you can show that people are interested in your brand. Spotify just loves to hop on new online trends, so make use of it. It's very possible to grow on platforms like Instagram. After our following on Instagram grew from 1k to 9k, our editorial placements increased dramatically. But now don't get discouraged if you don't have thousands of followers yet. It's definitely possible to get editorial placements without those followers. It's just something that can increase your odds. Right now there are very effective ways to grow on Instagram. If you want me to make a video about it, please subscribe and let me know in the comments. Alright, now let's say your music is good, you're authentic and you got some online backing. Great! The next thing you need to do, and this is where many artists will lack, release good music frequently. If you compare getting editorial placements to a lottery,
it's definitely not a lottery, but just let's imagine for this example.
Do you think you have more chance owning one ticket or 12? Now you tell me. Exactly, you need to upload music frequently. I generally advise to release music every 4 weeks all year long. Especially if you're an upcoming artist, this is key. You need this monthly content to get the momentum rolling. Every 4 weeks you get a new chance on getting editorial placement, so please don't cut yourself on this. Producing good music on a monthly basis can be hella expensive. So if you have the guts and ambition to do so, I highly recommend to produce, mix and master your own music in 2021. Check out this video for 6 reasons why you should start producing your own music in 2021. when you're releasing your music on a monthly basis, make sure to upload your music at least 4 weeks in advance to your distributor. In this way, the editors have enough time to listen to your track. Please take this serious and don't be the person that uploads the track like 10 or 5 days before the release date. Because the odds of an editor actually listening to your new track will be very small, and this is such a shame. There are many distributors I recommend. DistroKid, for example. It's very cheap, got heaps of useful functions, it's fast, and you'll keep 100% of your royalties. Isn't that great? Click the link in the description to get 7% off of your first year's subscription. Now let's say you distribute your good and authentic music 4 weeks in advance to your release date. Congrats, you're safe now and your odds have dramatically increased. But we're not done yet. Now it's your duty to write a killer pitch to the Spotify editorial team. You can do this by logging into your Spotify for Artists and looking to the tab Upcoming Releases. Now try to be as specific as possible in describing your music. In the pitch, you get the chance to write 500 characters about your release. Try to shortly describe the track, give some background info, quote the most important line and tell what's the moral of the story. Also, tell them if the release is part of an album or an EP. Try to leave some space for your promo plan. You can just sum up the points that you are going to do promo-wise. Some examples are a video clip, ads targeting Spotify, a blog campaign, or maybe even some radio plugging. This description of your release is in my opinion very important. Take some time for this and make sure there are no sloppy mistakes in it. Now it's time for the game changer. Unfortunately, this one is not for everyone, since you'll need one editorial placement to get this thing rolling. When you get placed in an editorial playlist, the odds of your next or even the same release getting placed in another editorial playlist are greatly increased. In the pitch of your next release, the editors will see that they previously showcased your music. And this will definitely make your next song more relevant for even more editorial placements. It works like this. All unreleased pitch songs of artists will get into one massive database that only the people of Spotify can see. This database is categorized in genre and relevance. Editors will work their way from top to bottom. So if you're just releasing your first song, you'll most likely spawn on the bottom of the list. And yeah, this is why you need to distribute your music at least 4 weeks before its release date. When your music has been placed before, you're basically ranking higher. And they are more likely to place your track again if it's dope. Let's say you got an editorial placement. The worst thing you can do is to not release music for a long time. The editorial tag will vanish and you didn't push through when they believed in you. If you follow these guidelines, I'm so sure that you will greatly increase your odds in getting an editorial placement in 2021. If you manage to get some success, please share it with me. I'd love to hear your stories. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, make sure to ask them below. But for now, please subscribe, smash that like and hit the notifications. I'm trying hard to get this channel to 1k subs, so I'll greatly appreciate it. And now for real, ciao, dag, doei, later, later, cheers. Bye bye.